The rain poured hard that night, hammering the pavement like war drums. Emma, a waitress finishing the late shift at the roadside diner, pulled her coat tight and rushed into the dark parking lot. She nearly passed by the long-haul truck idling near the edge, until she heard it. A soft sob. Muffled. Coming from inside. She froze. Her breath hitched. And then, her eyes caught something through the fogged-up window that made her drop her keys in shock. Emma worked the late shift at Duke's 24-hour diner, just off I-80 in Nebraska. Locals knew her as the girl who never said no to overtime, but nobody knew she was quietly grieving a son she hadn't seen in 5 years. He'd run away after a messy divorce left her broken, financially and emotionally. She kept a smile for the customers, but inside, she was barely holding it together. That night, the rain was brutal, coming down in sheets. She was locking up the front door when she noticed a semi-truck sitting quietly under a flickering streetlight. Nothing odd about that, until a strange feeling made her glance twice. She hesitated, staring at the silhouette in the cab. It was still. Too still. Then she heard it, faint crying. Not an adult. A child. Emma's instincts kicked in. She walked slowly across the lot, stepping through puddles, heart pounding. As she reached the cab, she stood on tiptoe and wiped the fog from the side window with her sleeve. What she saw made her go ice cold. A boy. Maybe 6 or 7. Curled up in the passenger seat. Dirty clothes. Tear-streaked face. Shivering. No driver. She tapped on the window. No response. Tapped harder. The boy looked up, terrified. Then bolted out of view. Emma panicked. She ran to the diner, grabbed the cordless phone, and called 911. But something told her not to wait. She grabbed the umbrella and ran back to the truck. The door wasn't locked. She climbed up inside. And everything changed. The air inside smelled like gasoline and sweat. It was dim, cluttered with empty fast food bags, old coffee cups, and piles of dirty laundry. But no driver. Just the boy, now cowering in the back sleeper berth, shielding himself with a coat. "Hey, sweetheart. I'm not gonna hurt you," Emma said gently. The boy stared at her, wide-eyed. "He said not to talk to anyone," he whispered. "Who? Where is he?" The boy hesitated. Then muttered, "He went inside that place with the lights. Said he'd come back." But that was, before the rain started. Emma's stomach dropped. That was over 3 hours ago. She gave him her coat and climbed out to check the truck's license plate. As she was walking back toward the cab, a black pickup truck came screeching around the corner. A man jumped out, angry, wild-eyed. "What the hell are you doing in my rig?" Emma instinctively stepped between him and the truck door. "There's a child in there." The man's face twitched. "Mind your damn business." That was all she needed to hear. Just then, a sheriff's cruiser pulled into the lot. The diner's cook must have seen what was happening and called the cops. The trucker started to backpedal, but it was too late. Officers separated everyone, and Emma gave a full statement. The boy wouldn't speak again, but clung to her, holding her hand tightly. Later, inside the sheriff's office, the truth unfolded. The man wasn't the boy's father. He'd picked him up at a truck stop 300 miles away. The boy had been reported missing in Texas. His name was Noah, and he'd been gone for 7 days. The story made headlines. Hero waitress saves missing child in diner parking lot. Emma didn't want the attention. But it found her anyway. 2 days later, a sleek black Cadillac pulled up to the diner. Out stepped Ethan Caldwell, CEO of Caldwell Freight Corp., one of the largest trucking companies in the Midwest. Heavy checkmark tagline, the man who could have retired 10 years ago, but chose to rebuild the industry with compassion. Warning disclaimer, the following story is based on real events. Names have been changed to protect the privacy of the people involved. He asked for Emma by name. I own that truck, he said solemnly. Not the man. But the vehicle. It was stolen a week ago from one of our hubs in Oklahoma. You may have just saved our entire operation from a PR nightmare, and a child's life. Emma didn't know what to say. But Ethan wasn't done. I read your background. Your son. Matthew. I know he's missing. She froze. I lost my own daughter 5 years ago to a drunk driver. Since then, I've made it my life's work to protect others the way I couldn't protect her. He slid a folder across the diner table. Inside, papers for a $100,000 reward, offered to anyone who saved a missing child. It was hers now. But more than that, he made her an offer. You said you worked 2 jobs, barely slept, and had no time to search for your boy. I'm putting a team on it. Investigators. Everything. We're going to find Matthew. Emma broke down sobbing. 3 weeks later, she got a call. They found Matthew, in a youth shelter in Arizona, using a fake name. He was alive. The final scene wasn't broadcasted. It wasn't in the papers. But if you'd been outside that same diner one rainy morning a month later, you'd have seen a woman running through the rain, arms outstretched, screaming a single name. Matthew. And a teenage boy, now taller, now stronger, dropping his bag and racing into her arms, the same parking lot, the same rain. But this time, no crying. Just a mother and her boy. Whole again.